What about leadership of the police? What about how the police feel about themselves, about being respected by the community? I mean, I saw recently Extinction Rebellion, they parked a boat on the corner of Oxford Street and Regent Street and chained themselves to the boat and superglued themselves to the boat. And a Met police officer went there and took a selfie video and danced with them. And they left him there for a week. For me, that doesn't seem like policing to me. And I'm wondering, what does that seem like to you? And do I not get it? And is there leadership in the force to back the officers?
Brian, you've got a great habit of asking one question that has about 15 topics wrapped up in it, right? I'll deal with, let me deal with Extinction. I was there.
Okay.
When that boat was there that afternoon.
Okay.
Because I do a lot of commentary about crime and policing on the radio and the TV and all of that. So, and I was going to speak about it on a news channel that evening. So, of course, I like to think of myself as a broadcast professional. I went there to see with my own eyes what was going on. Well, the hairs on the back of my neck were standing up because I was so irritated by Extinction Rebellion, just disrupting people's lives as they were trying to go around about their business, that I got really irritated. And I thought, and I do still think, that a lot of their campaigning is absolute numbskull, knuckle-dragging idiocy. And it irritates people rather than wins the hearts and minds of people. Of course, and I try to do my level best in terms of the environment. I'll give you an example today. I was very kindly offered transport here today, a car to come here today. Did I? No, I turned it down. I came on public transport with my mask and all of that because I do not want to increase my carbon footprint. Am I perfect in that regard? No, but woe betide anybody who comes to my house and drops a beer bottle top in the garbage bin instead of recycling it. I'm a bit of a recycling kind of fundamentalist and have been for a long, long time. I'm all across the environment. I completely agree, and I absolutely understand that we are heading for an environmental catastrophe which will probably wipe out humankind if we don't do something and do something about it quickly. I get it. I understand their message. I'm actually on side. But I think the way they go around about their campaigning, they're losing friends instead of gaining friends. And so I'm very, very vehemently against much of what they do and have done, including plonking that boat in Oxford Circus. Now, on to policing. This whole thing about policing losing their perception of neutrality started many years ago when cops started dancing at the Notting Hill Carnival. The carnival that's held at the end of August in London. And cops were beginning to dance with revellers there and all that kind of stuff. Criticism started as well. It dates back that long. And we've seen a lot of it, right up until today with cops taking the knee at BLM marches and all that kind of stuff. And, it's a difficult one. I personally think the police should be brave enough and their leaders should be courageous enough to stand up and say, do you know what? We're not going to dance. We're not going to skateboard. We're not going to take the knee. But that doesn't mean to say that privately, beneath this cloth, we agree with your cause. But we are the police. We must adopt a position of neutrality. So consequently, we won't. I saw a police officer, senior police officer from Kent Police a few weeks ago, standing holding the flag of the traveller community. Now, I know that irritated many people. And I would ask the question of that same police officer, would he hold the Palestinian flag if he had a Palestinian community living within Kent, for example? Well, would he? Because we know where it started, but where's it going to end? It should end with courageous police officers standing up and saying, we are a neutral body. Whenever we put on that cap, wear that uniform, stick that high vis on, or even, the full public order gear with the helmet and the shield. Our position has to be that of a neutral one. We are neutral. We are against crime. If you commit crime, we will deploy all the resources and tactics that we need. But other than that, we are neutral, which means we serve everyone except lawbreakers. We will serve everyone, no matter their colour, creed, race, religion, gender. Everyone. We'll serve everyone neutrally and equally. But the genie is out the bottle now, because if one goes down on a knee and another doesn't, then somebody's going to say, well, don't you care? Are you racist? It needs courageous senior police leaders to stand up and reclaim the neutral ground, because that's where policing should live.
And that seems so obvious to me when you state it that way. And yet the police chief is not obviously giving that direction and leadership to the force.
Well, we have 43 police chiefs in the UK because we've got 43 different police forces with different uniforms, different leaders, and sometimes different policies from force to force. But they have all their representative bodies, Chief Police Officers Council and all of that. And at the end of the day, so much of what they do is dictated by the Home Office, and the Home Secretary is in charge of that, one of the most senior political positions in the land. Well, is it that difficult to stand up and say, we serve all equally except lawbreakers? And then we deal with them according to the threat or the offence or the situation we find ourselves in. But other than that, no flags, no face painting, no dancing, no skateboarding, no makeup, no taking the knee, nothing. We're neutral.
I agree. Now, some would say that's very old school, but the police has to be neutral by definition. Otherwise, it looks like you have favoritism towards one group or the other, and by definition, that's not policing, correct? Like you said.
I quite agree. And it doesn't mean to say that we are not, in favour of every law-abiding man, woman, child, however you want to identify, we're with you. But we are neutral. And things have got to a point whereby, one dancing cop versus a non-dancing cop can be perceived as on our side, not on our side. One cop on the knee, one standing up, on our side, not on our side. They're probably both on their side. But where's the leadership? Where are the leaders from their ivory towers on high with their vast salaries doing their job, going neutrality? Because I'll tell you what, the men and women in the police service in the UK, including the one on the knee and the one standing up and the one skateboarding and the one who's not, generally speaking, the overwhelming majority of them are wonderful, fabulous, decent people who would be there for you, me, everyone in our hour of need.